think it because Columbia is a college town, more people are drunk and therefore aren't thinking with their right minds and might force women to have sex more than normal because they're intoxicated.
It would affect it negatively just because sexual assault cases are more prone to young men and young women just because young men haven't matured and developed brain-wise, but they have developed sexually. And then that maturity sexuality difference and that gap, you'll see a lot of cases like that happening just because we want sex, but we may not understand.
I think college women in general, just because college men, drunk, doing bad things, uh, can sometimes when women are walking home alone at night take miscued signs and take it for like, I want to have sex with you, but really they don't. So they're more.
Here on campus, I would say especially it'd be like sorority girls going out to the frats and just anything where you're put in a bad situation where there's a lot of like there could be alcohol, drugs, or anything involved. I think that gets you in a really bad situation. And so, I mean, I think most people are probably just going to turn the other cheek and just say like, oh, that's none of my business, which whether that's the right thing to do or not, it's pretty much what everybody's going to do.
I'd say they do a good job this year because there's only been a couple of clear releases, whereas last year there was way more than this. So I feel like they've cracked down on it and they just know how to handle it better.
Being a college town, one of the big causes, the majority cases that we work is either alcohol or drug related. So in a college town, when I was in college, I like to drink alcohol as well. So that's a common practice, when kids come into town, as they start experimenting with either alcohol or drugs. And that's majority of the cases are related to somebody may be too intoxicated and or may be drugged at the time of an assault. So those are the big issues that we run into most of the time when dealing with sexual assaults. Most cases of sexual violence are children that are have the biggest risk, just because they cannot usually defend themselves. So they're at home and may be victimized by family members, may be victimized by relatives or somebody they know or strangers. So those are the biggest risks that are across our nation that are victimized by sexual assaults. But when it comes to campus, most 99% of our cases are female-related victims of sexual assault. We do work with them some. We work with them if they need assistance from us in either tracking down a suspect that might be a student or helping a victim that is a student of ours. We do work our own sexual assaults if they occur on campus or in the residence halls or in our parking lots or in garages and those kinds of things. And we'll work with the city police also to get reports for the student conduct so they can go through disciplinary procedures if they're a suspect of a sexual assault. Well, the best course of action is to assess the scene and make sure that it's safe for you and you're not in danger, and then to report the crime to police if you can. It also interact with and help the victim out if you can. Again, assessing the scene and make sure it's safe for that person to help. But don't just stand by and do nothing. Help that person out. Whether it be you're calling 911. Hey, you're saying stop doing that to that person, those kinds of things. If you know the person, tell them you disapprove what you're doing, I'm calling the police, those kinds of things. And then be a good witness when you're there. So make sure you take a good look at what the person looks like, what they're wearing, what they're doing to the individual, what kind of crime is happening, those kinds of things.